This is Our Side of Addiction, the podcast. I'm Amanda Bork. Let's go. Hello there. Welcome in. Glad to see you back again. Okay. I'm not much of a gummy candy kind of person. For some reason, I don't know why, I got my hands on the Lifesaver gummies, particularly, I think they're called Explosion one. They're like 50-50 colors. Delicious. Delish. Get those. Get a big bag because they're amazing. Then I tried Jolly Rancher gummies. The original, fine, nice. The tropical ones, blow my mind. Get the Lifesaver Explosion gummies. Get the Jolly Rancher tropical gummies. Delicious. Those are my recommendations for the day. If you got Candy Rex, particularly anything gummy kind of candy, as I've been craving that lately. Maybe I need something in there. No, I don't. I don't need anything in there, but I'm just lying. I'm telling myself stories. Give me your recommendations, okay? I'm into that. They've got so many new candies. I don't really try it. Like, my jam are Lindt chocolate balls. I will fall in love with anyone who delivers me Lindt chocolate. And just recently, I'm on a gummy kick. Controversially enough, I hate Reese's. I said it. They suck. It tastes like chemicals. What are you guys liking about Reese's? I even recently retried them because I'm like, everyone is just, they have this flavor and they got this flavor and they got jelly and peanut butter and marshmallow Reese's. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm missing something. Just tastes like straight chemicals. If you want a peanut butter cup, Trader Joe's, those peanut butter cups in the plastic tub, that'll rock your world. That is what it's supposed to taste like. Do a taste test. The Trader Joe's ones versus a Reese's, and the Reese's just taste like straight chemicals. Like, don't do that to yourself. Like, level up. I think the Trader Joe's, there's a whole bucket of them. They're tiny. They're not tiny. They're the small bite-sized one. I think it's $5. I mean, level up the game. And that's what I'm talking about on candy today. I just can't talk about that anymore. But what I can talk about is what we're here to talk about today. I better hope so. You better talk about that. Our topic is forgiveness versus reconciliation. Understanding the difference because it's not the same thing. People might confuse the two. Maybe thinking the two are the same, or the two are having to be one and the same, or you can't have one without the other. We're going to clarify all that. Because when we love an addict, this is confusing. Making it worse, you're probably being influenced in one way or another by family or friends. They might be pressuring you. And you might be confused. What's forgiveness? What's reconciliation? How do I find clarity in this? I'm bringing that to you today. I'm not bringing you Lifesaver Explosions or Lindt or Trader Joe's peanut butter cups, but I'm bringing you clarity, babe. Is that better? I don't know, but it's what I got for you. Today, anyway. What you're probably sick and tired of hearing is that you have to forgive them to move on, forgive them to heal, forgiveness, Okay, cool. But guess what? Forgiveness doesn't automatically make you safe, doesn't automatically mean you're going to trust them again, doesn't automatically mean that you're supposed to pretend like everything's good, like nothing happened, nothing's wrong. Doesn't mean any of that. Gets confusing. You're up and down, hot and cold, so are they. It's confused land. What we're going to do is like a brand new loaf of bread, we're going to untwist that tie. What the heck? What's the difference? Forgiveness versus reconciliation. Untwist my tie. Forgiveness is an internal process. It's about releasing resentment so that it doesn't continue harming you. Because that emotions, that anger, the resentment, when we don't forgive, it doesn't impact the other person. They don't give a fuck. They don't feel it. They don't care. They're not thinking about it. They're not up in the middle of the night. They're not anxious all day long. That shit's you. You hurt when you don't forgive. Now, again, this is a process, but I'm just saying all that angst, it's only impacting you. Versus reconciliation, this is a relational process. It's about rebuilding connection, trust, and access together. The cool thing is that forgiveness can occur without the reconciliation. To reconcile, we need safety, though. And that's important. Because if not, say we get re-injured in there, say our trust gets broken again, and we're going to get resentful, we're going to get mad, we can't really do the reconciliation unless there's safety. We can think of it in this way. Forgiveness lives within you, and reconciliation is between two people. The struggle most of us have with forgiveness is that it feels as though it's an excuse. We're letting them off the leash, or not the leash. Oh my God. Do you have a motherfucker on a leash? The hook. It's letting them off the hook, which is what we want. Letting people, or no, we don't want. Oh my gosh. It's not letting people off the hook. It's not just excusing the harm or pretending like they didn't harm us. It's a matter of freeing ourselves from carrying a burden, from carrying an intense emotional experience or state. We don't ever want to force forgiveness or rush ourselves to be there. We have to progressively get ourselves there. If we feel forced into forgiveness, whether that's self-inflicted or socially inflicted, we can tend to have higher levels of anxiety, maybe prone to some depression, definitely have negative internal dialogue, maybe some self-blame. And there will be suppressed anger because you're not there yet. You're not ready, but you're going to think that you just have to swallow that anger and shut up and take it. The anger doesn't go anywhere though. It's just going to build and it will still be in there and you will still feel rage and hate, even though you're going to try to convince yourself, I should be forgiving. I should forgive them. You're not there yet. You're not there. Don't ever let someone coerce you into forgiving when you aren't there yet. If we truly are ready and able to forgive, there isn't going to be pressure. We're going to feel ready. You're going to be okay with releasing. You're going to feel validated in your pain and your experience. And you're no longer going to feel this need to have anger in order to protect yourself. Now remember, forgiveness is about peace and calming our state of mind. It's not about access. If you did something wrong to me and I had my period of anger and I allowed myself to progress to forgiveness, that does not mean you're ever going to have access to me again. Ever. I'll walk away from any motherfucker on this earth, and there's a lot of people who will tell you that's true. Just because I have moved on, I have allowed myself to process and to find peace again, does not mean you ever see my damn face again. Ever. Let's not confuse it. Take a little peace in that for yourself. Focusing us on reconciliation and that part, why does it require safety? Now, the reconciliation is that rebuilding. It is the access. And that does require conditions to be different than forgiveness. Because if I'm rebuilding a relationship with you, conditions must be different. Okay, say the same scenario. You and I are vibing, you hurt me, I go through my process, I forgive you, and I want to reconcile. After the forgiveness means I want to reconcile so we come back together and reassess our relationship dynamic. Doesn't have to be the same, no, but we're going to have access to one another again. I have to feel safe. How do I know you're not going to hurt me again in the way that you did? How do I know you're changed or things are different? I have to feel safe in that in order to have the reconciliation. Maybe that means consistent changes in behavior, better accountability, some kind of repair, whatever the harm was. We have this repair of the harm. We're implementing better or clearer boundaries, and there's respect for those boundaries. And there's also emotional and physical safety, because this does involve access. And for us to re-engage with one another, the terms and the conditions must be different so that I feel safe re-engaging with you. As you know, love alone is not enough. Intentions are not enough. They'll never fucking be good enough. Your intention? Are you kidding me? No, I don't care about what your intention is, what your thought is. What's the action, dude? Apologies aren't good enough either. A lot of people out here, grown adults, act like they can do whatever they want and just throw out a sorry little apology, and then you're supposed to just keep it pushing. Foul activity. Okay, apologies are still not enough. Safety is our foundation to reconciliation. Without that, it's going to feel like self-betrayal. I'm going to feel like an idiot. So you hurt me, I forgive you, we reconcile, you do that shit again, and now I'm like, look at you, dummy. Look at you. Did the same thing to you again. You let the same thing happen. I'm going to go into that self-betrayal. How do we let go without pretending everything's fine, everything's good? Sometimes we feel like if we do let go, particularly resentment, we are more vulnerable. We kind of lose our protection. Because that resentment or anger, angst that I have towards you, it's this shield. I get to put up a bit of a wall and keep you back a distance with that. And I think if I let it go, that means my shield is down and I'm more vulnerable to you. That's how it can feel. Letting something go does not mean you're forgetting. Does not mean you're going to trust them again or trust them blindly. Okay, well, you stole my wallet. Let's just let it go. I'll forget about it. and I smack my wallet on the counter and I leave for the day. You know, we're not blindly trusting. It also doesn't mean I'm reopening full access or even any access at all by letting something go. I might think, oh, okay, you stole my wallet. Cool, let me let that go, and guess what? You're out. Zero access. You don't have access to the house, the car, or me. Maybe, I'm just saying. It also doesn't mean that we're minimizing any harm that was done. You really gutted me when you stole my wallet. I'm not minimizing that by letting go. When we let go, we can forgive. That doesn't say in that forgiveness that I want to be close or I'm ready for close. Doesn't say that at all. Actually, it's better if we say I prefer to keep a little bit of a distance till I can reconcile with you or feel safe to reconcile. And I'm going to need some consistency. I'm going to have to see. I don't want to hear your words. I'm sorry. Oh, I promise. No, I want to see action and consistency. We're maintaining grasp of the truth. That thing happened. I got hurt. But we're also allowing peace. I don't have to fester in that. I can be cool and calm and at peace with that. I mean, it happened. What can I do? I kind of have to be eventually come to a spot of peace. If we do want to reconcile with our loved ones with addictions, what does that look like? If that's something you're interested in, it should be slow and intentional. Time, we're going to need some time, because if I got to see consistency, I got to see action, that's accumulated over time. It can't be rushed. And what happens is a lot of times the other person, they're going to try to rush you because they don't want to deal with the consequences. Maybe they don't want you being healthy. Maybe they don't want dynamics to be different. So one strategy is to rush this and kind of bombard you. Don't let ever someone rush you when you're reconciling with them, especially if it's the person that hurt you. They have to prove and earn access back. It's not you're given access. You have to earn it, and you have to prove to me that I should give you access again. We also want to observe changes, not promises, not, oops, sorry, did it again. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, that was an accident. Oh, I forgot. Yuck. We want to observe change. Show me through action that things are different. There also needs to be accountability. We aren't making excuses for them, and they sure as heck aren't making excuses for themselves. They have to take full ownership. Maybe you also need to take full ownership and accountability over things. We want to see that for us to reconcile. We have to have that. There also needs to be repair-based conversations. We can't avoid having a conversation over what happened. Now, the person who you're reconciling with, particularly if this is your addict, they're not going to want to have that conversation. This is another one of blowing past you. They don't want it. And that conversation might go awry intentionally, if you know what I'm saying. We have to have conversations about what happened, how it impacted you, how you see this moving forward, if you do see it moving forward. Conversation, communication is so mandatory, even if it's uncomfortable, even if one person is rushing you through it or doesn't want to participate. You cannot reconcile unless you've had proper communication. That saying, like, do it messy. Who cares if you stutter, if you're nervous, if it's all over the place, if the other person doesn't receive you well? Who cares? You want to get in there and communicate. The next one is respect for pace. You want to watch that. If someone is not respecting a slow progressive pace back into reconciliation, if someone is pressuring you under any circumstance, that should be one of your red flags. Something's awry here. There's a reason they don't want me taking my time and having a pace to reconnect with them. Then the next step, the last step to healthy reconciliation, consistently honored boundaries. Consistently honored. First and foremost, let's just say your boundaries are not my responsibility to uphold. And to be fair, I might just, for a little gaming or play around, try to get you to waver on your boundaries just to see where you stand with them. And we'll even see this a lot in the dating world where we test each other to see, okay, where do you really stand? How much pressure would I need to apply for you to abandon that? People try each other all the time, and your addicts are going to be prone to this behavior because it's a manipulative tactic, and addicts are very manipulative. It's just one of the attributes of addiction. Not saying your loved one, but the addiction. That being said, it's your role to uphold the boundaries, but if I'm actually interested in genuinely reconciling with you and the intent is good and I want to come from a healthier place, I'm not sure if an active addict would be capable of this, but it's vital that I do my best to honor or adapt to your boundaries. You'll probably have to remind me, and I'll probably still kind of test you a little bit. But if I care about you and I care about the relationship, I'm not going to push too hard on it. If it's genuine and it's not about manipulation or trying to get resource, I'm really not going to push too hard. You want to look for someone who's accepting and open to your boundaries, willing to have communication around it, willing to make corrective actions, while also willing to respect them consistently. It's not like, oh, I respected your boundaries today, and then for the next 6 weeks, I push you. You want consistently, more often than not, honoring and trying best to go alongside your boundary. So that we're clear, like a crystal unwrapped on a wedding day, reconciliation is not ever something that you owe someone. Ever. Ever. I don't care if they got down on their hands and knees and begged. You don't owe shit to anybody. If you don't want to, don't. If you don't want to right now, hold off. If you're not ready, wait. This reconciliation is something that has to be earned through those steps that we just talked about. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I messed up, now you owe me a reconciliation? No, fuck off. Don't feel like that. Don't ever get pressured into that. Don't pressure yourself into that either. Moving onward to some common barriers and misconceptions around forgiveness and reconciliation. The first one. If I forgive them, like truly, really forgive them, then that means I should reconcile. No, they're separate things. You don't have to anything of anything. I would hope eventually you get to a place of forgiveness. And if that's where the road ends, then it ends right there. You don't ever have to reconcile. And fully forgiving doesn't mean you have to fully reconcile. Separate things. The next one. Not reconciling means that I'm still bitter or I'm angry. No, it doesn't. It's personal choice. Again, these are two separate things. And just because I don't ever want to see you again doesn't mean I even remember your name. There's a lot of motherfuckers out here that I don't remember their name. It's done is done. I don't gotta ever remember your name or what happened. I can release it to the ethers and be done with it. The next one. Forgiveness means everything is okay now. No, it doesn't. I wish. It's not okay. There might be still active harm. That person might still be engaging in harmful behaviors. And forgiveness doesn't eradicate that. It doesn't eradicate the future. Doesn't eradicate the past. Doesn't eradicate the present. It still matters what happened. But it's just a matter of giving yourself peace. The last one, if I don't reconcile, I'm abandoning them. Or perhaps you might think if I don't reconcile, I'm giving up on love, giving up on the relationship. And you should try harder. Especially when it comes to addicts. We're supposed to sacrifice our entire selves for addicts, right? I mean, that's what we tell ourselves. That's what everyone tells us. The truth is, any relationship we're having, it doesn't have to be romantic. Any relationship, we have to feel safe there. It's not about being a failure, abandoning, being bad at love, unworthy of love. You have to feel safe in any relationship. It's not about withstanding whatever anytime. As much as you throw on me, I'm going to take it. I have to check in and say, am I safe here? If I'm not, then you're not an applicant for reconciliation with me. Period. Here's the reality of loving an addict, the emotional reality of it. Loving an addict means that there's going to be repeated heartbreak. It's just how it is. Your trust is going to get broken. You're going to feel guilty for wanting space or feeling feelings or making decisions for yourself or doing a hobby, seeing a friend. You're going to feel guilty for that. There's a lot of shame. Shame for caring, shame for their lifestyle, shame for not fixing this, shame for not knowing what to do. Of course, emotional whiplash. You're everywhere. That neck is getting snapped. Emotion here, high, emotion over there, low. And you went from the high to the low in 32 seconds. There's a lot going on. If you're hesitant about reconciling with your addict, that makes sense because there is no safety when you love an addict and they're in active addiction. Safety doesn't live there. It's not possible. They don't even know how to keep themselves safe. And you think they're going to keep you safe in a relationship dynamic? It's not possible. Of course you're hesitant. It's not about being evil or leaving them, because you're not leaving them. You're creating space and boundaries so that you aren't inflicted with further pain. If you can even have more pain, because it feels like you're at the max, you're trying to prevent further pain, which you should be, which biologically you're driven to protect yourself from further distress and pain. That puts you in an empowering position because you're allowed to decide if you forgive, if this forgiveness is private or you're communicating it, because sometimes people can have forgiveness without a conversation, forgiveness without ever seeing the person again. You get to decide. Are we having conversations? Is that person involved? Is it just my side? You get to decide if you're going to reconcile, and you get to choose the pace. Should be progressive and slow, but you get to pace it. You call the shots. You also get to decide if there's a pause between the forgiveness and reconciliation. Maybe right now I'm just going to bring myself to a place of forgiveness and take a breather and see what happens. See how I feel in a month, in 6 months, in 12 months, and then move forward. You can pause indefinitely, you know. No one can say boo-hoo about any of it. You get to decide. You get to choose distance, if there's going to be distance, how much distance. You get to choose, or excuse me, not choose. You get to protect your peace. That's what you get to choose. I guess that's what I was trying to say. You get to choose peace. It's a personal process, and I want you to feel empowered in that you dictate this. If you forgive it, your addict, great, amazing, love that. I'm so glad you're on that journey. Are you going to reconcile with them? You choose. Indefinite pause. What's the pace of reconciling? What's the distance? How close are they allowed to get to you? How much access do they have to you? What they have to earn back from you? All of that is in your control. Mind you, other people, and including your addict, are going to try to convince you otherwise, because they're going to want to try to control the pace and dictate what happens and try to ensure dynamics match best for them. Don't let them. You're the captain of the ship here. It's about choosing yourself without hardening your heart. Easier said than done, because when you love an addict, you're naturally going to want to harden your heart. But through the process of forgiveness and maybe reconciliation, the idea is to come through it with a heart that's not cold and turned out. Forgiveness and reconciliation, both, they're not obligations ever. I want you to be in the space of forgiveness for you, not under obligation for others. I want that to be for you so you feel lifted, so you aren't suffering. Just know that it's not any kind of an obligation to other people. Certainly reconciliation, that's not an obligation to anyone. These are choices and they're personal ones, and you get to choose and decide and bring yourself eventually to wherever you choose to bring yourself. You can forgive yourself and still protect yourself at the same time. You can love them and say no at the same time. It doesn't mean anything other than that. Doesn't mean you're bad or abandoned them or you turned away from them. You can love them and say no to them. You can release and let go without letting the floodgates open and everything coming rushing back toward you. You can have that peace without requiring proximity. Your healing process does not mandate access to you. But we have to be putting your well-being first, because your well-being does matter. If I could shout that to the rooftop, shake you to the bones. I'll put that into your head that your well-being matters. Having that clarity over the guilt makes us feel better. Oops. Gotcha. Getting ya. Ba-bow. Can't help it. There's a microphone in my face and I want to karaoke. That's our episode on forgiveness versus reconciliation. What's the difference? You don't got to do any of this stuff. You can choose your degree. You can choose when you get there, where you're going. You're the captain and you're in that power position. Now you feel more in control of a situation that otherwise feels out of control. You can feel a little more rooted and grounded. Makes grooted. Oh my God. I'm just making up all kinds of stuff over here. Don't fact check anything over here because I just said grooted. So we're not fact checking that. Now that you feel more rooted and grounded, you can feel more centered. And that's a lot of the work that we're doing over here is bringing some power and control back to you in the places where you actually have it. And I want to highlight that for you to help alleviate some of these ailments that we experience. You know, we drop new episode every Thursday morning. Come check us out. Until then, y'all, we will see you in the next episode. Lock on.